And we're back at 7:35 a.m. here on KFYO Mornings. Dave King, Matt Martin at your service. And being Thursday and being 7:35 can only mean that it's time for Your Car Pro. Good morning, Jerry Reynolds. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all?
Hey, we're doing great, and I'll tell you, the first thing I wanted to ask you about, this little car that you're driving this week is captured my imagination. I've been noticing these for some time, and I noticed you say last week you were driving the 797 horse Challenger Red Eye, and this week you're in a 3-cylinder Mini Cooper. That's got to be culture shock, isn't it?
Yeah, boy, you talk about extremes. That's one extreme to the other.
Well, let me ask you this.
Sure.
I did not realize they're a 3-cylinder vehicle, but I
Yep.
see them scooting all over town. What kind of actual gas mileage do they get?
Okay, let's go through this real quick. This is a 3-cylinder, does have twin turbos. So when you really need the power, this little thing will get up and go. It's very, very quick from a dead stop. This one is what BMW has said, because BMW makes the Mini. It's a hybrid. Problem with it is this thing as a hybrid is way behind the times. And so I tell people, when I shot video with it this week, I said, hey, the Mini Cooper is a great SUV. Always has been. Tons of fun to drive. A lot more room inside than you could possibly think just by looking at the outside. But don't opt for the hybrid version. They charge a $5,500 premium as a hybrid, and that's way out of line, and it's only got a 12-mile range on battery. So, as a hybrid, it's a flop. Just the regular 3-cylinder would be fine, and you could expect to get combined around 30 miles to the gallon, which isn't horrible, because this is the Mini Cooper Countryman. This is the biggest one they make, and it really is deceiving how much room there is inside. But all Minis are a lot of fun to drive. If you're claustrophobic, some of the smaller Minis might get to you a little bit, especially when you're out on the highway getting passed by 18-wheelers. But this one, you feel really good in it, and it does have some neat features.
Price? What
fun
price
drive.
range?
This one has an MSRP of $45,000, but remember, $5,500 of that's that hybrid debacle that they've got on this car. So in the upper 30s on a super loaded one would be pretty much normal. This thing is based on a BMW X1 chassis, which is their smallest SUV. So you do get some of that BMW feel when you're driving the car. Handling is great. This thing, you can just zip around corners. I mean, it's fun to drive. I'm disillusioned with them over this hybrid thing. If you're going to do it right. And they just haven't. Their technology's so old, and the batteries last so much longer. I mean, who can use 12 miles of range in Texas?
Yeah.
Not me.
Not me either.
I can't even get to work and back with 12 miles. Maybe not even to work.
Is this it's an all-electric, so it's something after 12 miles you'd have to plug it in?
No. It's a hybrid. It converts over to the gasoline engine. So,
okay, and when the gasoline engine is running, is it charging the batteries also?
It does, but it's a slow charge from the engine.
Oh, geez.
You can plug it into your home if you want to. I have a feeling that people who buy this car probably never do plug it in, and I don't know if it's worth it for 12 miles of range. So why even mess with it? Just get the non-hybrid version. You'll have a good time and have a great car.
Well, I suppose if you were living in the city and maybe it was 6 miles to work and 6 miles home, that might make a little sense.
It could. I would say there's special cases out there where you could certainly make the case. But if you look at some of the other products that are out there, the Chevy Bolts, great electric vehicle. It'll go 250 miles without a charge. So and it's less money too. Now it's not as cute as the Mini. It doesn't have as nice of interior as the Mini. But if you're looking for practicality, that's probably the best electric buy out there right now. We just put up a review this week of the Nissan Leaf, which is an all-electric car. And we had the 2018, and it's got over 200 miles of range. So, they're coming along. It's just taking a little while, and I think that's why I'm disappointed in this Mini as far as being a hybrid.
Yeah, and I mean, 200 miles, you're not going to take a trip on it, but you're definitely going to be able to get back and forth from work daily on 200 miles of range.
Yeah, and a lot of people could probably go 3 or 4 days, depending on how far it was to their office or to their work, without charging it up. So there's applications. But then again, on the other hand, this is not the right. If you're looking for a hybrid, the Mini is not the right vehicle, in my opinion. A couple of things, guys, at the website that we've put up that are sort of important and timely. I've talked about this on the air for years now about tax code 179. And what that is it's for self-employed and business owners. Now, it could be a sideline business. It could be a lawn mowing business. It could be anything. But there's provisions within the tax code that if you buy certain vehicles, that you can write off the entire purchase amount in the year that you purchased the vehicle. So, in other words, if you were to buy a vehicle today, you can write it off on your 2018 taxes.
Now, and let me ask you this: do you also get the depreciation value as it moves forward?
You have to choose between the two.
Okay.
And I explain that in this article.
All right.
Because depreciation sometimes is going to be better for certain people than, for instance, under 179, a vehicle has to have a 6,000-pound gross vehicle weight rating. Not that it weighs that much, but it's got to be able to haul that much along with the weight of the vehicle. So I've got a list of all the eligible vehicles there, but it's typically half-ton and bigger trucks, the larger SUVs, Chevy Tahoe. But there's quite a number of mid-sized SUVs there. You just got to be careful because there's a line there at that 6,000 pounds. For instance, if you want a Honda Pilot, it's got to be four-wheel drive to qualify. A two-wheel drive doesn't. That falls just under the threshold. So that's something to look at if if you're self-employed or a business owner, because that could be huge, especially if you've got, if you need a few vehicles, maybe half dozen trucks or something. It makes a huge difference in your tax bill come next April. I've got an article on how to safely transport your holiday food. We've got the 2019 Challenger Hellcat Red Eye review and videos up. If you haven't seen that burnout, you got to do that.
Man, you got smoke up in the cab on that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I really didn't. It was my fault, though. I should have known to turn the air conditioner off.
No.
And it was a warm day,
yeah.
so I just left it running. And I was so focused on, not blowing the thing up that I forgot. And, boy, that smoke started billowing through those air vents. And you can see it from my point of view in this video. And so I just finally – it was time to stop anyway. But as soon as I got the thing shut down, I was out of there. I was ingesting smoke.
You couldn't breathe.
No,
I'm sure.
I couldn't. My lungs are filling up with smoke. And then the last thing that you might find interesting, guys, is I wrote a sound-off piece this week where I really took Ford and General Motors to task over some of the money, the millions and millions that they're spending on autonomous cars and that sort of thing, because they're spending literally billions of dollars. We don't even know yet if there's a market for them. Hell, we can't even get Takata airbags right. How are we going to ever have a car that drives itself,
Yeah.
So I was a little angry when I wrote that one, but it sure has got a lot of attention in Detroit.
All right. Well, again, CarPro USA is your website, and all of that is there. Also, CarPro Jerry Reynolds will be on the radio here at 95.1 FM, 790 AM KFYO between 11 and 1 every Saturday.
Well, and since next Thursday is Thanksgiving, I probably will not talk to you guys, so I hope that you have a great one.
All right. Well, thanks, Jerry. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Okay, pal.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.